darling! Hello, hello, hello! You must be the new house servant, yes? My goodness, it's time you got here. All the others arrived yesterday. Oh, Tosh, don't bother explaining. When those who serve me fail to meet my expectations, there's no such thing as a good reason. All I need from you is your assurance it won't happen again. I trust you will be punctual from this day forward, yes? Good! As the lady of the house, I consider it my unique privilege to be fashionably late. It seems I severely underestimated how many servants it would require to manage my brand new mansion. I suppose that's thanks to all the fine art. Oh, it requires such delicate care to maintain. Now, watch your shoes that you don't scuff the marble, darling. Before we get into all of that, I think I should clear a few things up. The rest of the new hires had quite a few questions yesterday. Since you weren't here to hear them, it falls to me to make sure you're brought up to speed. Pay attention now, I don't like to repeat myself. Well, unless it's to order a second martini. So, to start things off, yes, I am a Lamia, and yes, I am a noble, even though this is a predominantly human kingdom. Before I ascended to nobility, I owned a successful little trading caravan. Perhaps you've heard of it. Oh, of course you have. Everyone has. Thanks for the memories. Our slogan, let's snake a deal. Well, anyway, it brought gobs of wealth to this kingdom, so much so, in fact, that when I settled into early retirement recently, your king offered me a title and a piece of land. It's quaint, I know, only 200 acres, but who am I to turn down such a nice little bauble? That should cover the basic questions. Now, on to your duties. Careful of that lamp, darling. It's worth more than you make in a year. As you already heard, this mansion is brand new, every stick from the rafters down to the cellar. I needed something grander than the, charmingly rustic estate that stood here previously. And naturally, it requires plenty of servants to keep it in acceptable condition. Unfortunately for you, the rest of the servants have already filled in the more specialized positions, which are also the best paying. I'm afraid that's the cost of tardiness. Instead, you'll be... I suppose you'll just be doing whatever needs to be done at the moment. Jack of all trades, you might say. Someone who does all the little things, cleaning, making beds, assisting the other servants, feeding Fifi, that's my anaconda, and really anything else I order. Oh, that's not what you signed up for. Oh, well, I don't know what you were promised, but I'm afraid you did quite literally sign up for this. You were given a contract, yes? And you signed it? Didn't you have your lawyers take a look at it? You don't have any? Oh, you poor impoverished thing. I know they're all snakes, but how do you ever get anything done without one? I don't even slither out of bed without consulting mine. Well, unfortunately for you, you did sign, and that's all there is to it. At this point, legally dissolving such an ironclad contract would take longer than it would require to fill it. I'm astonished you didn't at least bother to read a legally binding contract before giving your signature. Peasants, honestly. Oh, you can't read very well? Well, we'll take care of that. There's bound to be a tutor around here somewhere. I'm sure at least one was packed in with the fine china. Oh, don't bother thanking me. It's no trouble at all. I'll just take the expense out of your wages. Leave? Oh, no, darling, you won't be going anywhere. As I said, you signed that contract. It's a bit late to go through the hiring process for someone else just because you suddenly got cold feet. And can't read and don't have a lawyer, you poor thing. And especially after arriving a day late. I have a schedule to keep, Not to be unnecessarily cruel, but this is all on you. Well, I suppose we can lay some of the blame on this kingdom's ramshackle education system, but we haven't time to unravel all that now. How will I stop you from leaving? Oh, come now, don't play these games. For starters, I have guards. You pass them on your way in. Beefy fellows. And if I really wanted to, I would be more than a match for you all on my own. Lamias are naturally powerful, and I've been careful not to allow my life of luxury to make me soft. But in the end, there's no need for any of that. I don't need to physically restrain you to keep you from leaving. My true power doesn't lie with scales or swords, but with knowledge and influence. You see, I researched each applicant when I hired them. I know all about you. You're a humble little peasant, poor as a church mouse, hoping to earn some extra money for your family. But you seem to forget that your family works for me. I own the land they live on. All I have to do is write one letter, and you and your family will be homeless and jobless. And I'm quite sure doting offspring such as yourself wouldn't want to plunge them into even worse poverty, would you? I'm impressed. No yelling or crying or running. I can see that you understand the position you're in. You're rather smart for a farmer's child, aren't you? Wonderful. You'll make an excellent servant yet. Well then, I suppose I'll put you to work. Follow me. Yes, right in here. This is my office. As you can imagine, I've had quite a bit of work pile up while I was busy moving in. There's a great deal of paperwork involved in managing such a large tract of land. I'm probably going to have to spend the rest of the day catching up. But while I do, I want you to massage my coils. You heard me. I don't believe I stuttered. I've been so active the last few days, slithering to and fro, making sure all my belongings end up in the right places and that all the servants understand their duties, and I've been left so terribly sore by it all, and so you're going to massage every inch of my tail to relieve that built-up stress. Oh, darling, don't be so bashful. Just think of it as one of the many tasks you'll have to perform in my employ. I wonder what else I'll have you do. Perhaps muck out the stables or clean in between each of the tiles in the main hall. No comment? Well then, get to it. I'm not paying you to stand there and scowl at me, amusing though it may be. Ah, that's not a bad start. But you needn't be so timid about it. A Lamia's tail is mostly muscle, so you'll need to get in deep to loosen up all these knots. Don't worry, I don't expect a human peasant to be an expert masseuse. We'll have plenty of time to train you later. Oh, that's nice. Oh, yes. Now, who on earth ordered a crystal chandelier for the ballroom? I specifically ordered obsidian. Incompetent. Oh, yes. Oh. I'm getting distracted. What have we here? 15 down comforters. Yes, well, that won't do. We have at least 30 guest rooms. We'll need at least 50. It gets cold at night. My. You certainly get absorbed in your work, don't you? You look rather adorable when you're concentrating like that. And to think you're putting that much effort into such a task, even after the way I've treated you. I'd say you've passed my little test. Well, of course, darling. I've been testing you ever since you arrived. I don't allow just anyone to work for me. There's only so much I can learn about you from records. All the other servants were tested as well. I wanted to see how you all would react to me at my worst. Who would grumble, who would lash out, who would run, who would try to poison my tea. Quite a few couldn't handle it, but you and a handful of others patiently endured my venomous tongue. And you will all be rewarded for it. I assure you I'm not nearly so cruel as I may seem at first glance. Why, I regularly donate to all the local orphanages. It's the least I can do after making so many. Orphans, that is, not orphanages, of course. I'm not generally in that kind of real estate. Now, that isn't to say I won't be working you, hard. I expect only the best from my employees. But you can rest assured I won't be resorting to insults or threats. Your family's home was never in danger, and you'll be able to profoundly improve their lifestyle with your earnings. And don't worry about the tutor. We have one, and he's free. Oh, but do keep massaging. I was being truthful about how sore I am. It feels heavenly to get all those kinks worked out. Part of me doesn't want you to stop. But you should probably go get yourself acquainted with the mansion, and especially with the servants' quarters. Go ask another of the servants to show you around. I would do it myself, but I really do need to catch up. If you finish before dark, come back to see me. I'll see if there's anything else I need you to do for me. I look forward to your service. Farewell, until we next see each other.